Well, we've just arrived at the village of Little Salkeld. On our right hand side we've got the mill, and this is a milling tea room and it's a working mill. So we're going to get a quick look at that before we start our walk. The mill doesn't open till 10:30 and this is 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're just taking a shot of the outside. When you come to Little Salkeld, you've got your tea room and your mill shop, so there's no excuse not to go in. And just one last thing, there is a mill tour if you want it. Right, we'll leave it at that. We're going to get on with our walk now. Today we're in Cumbria. We're just parked at the side of the road in a place called Little Salkeld. We're going to walk at the side of the River Eden and eventually come to a stone circle of Long Meg and her daughters. We head straight forward on the right hand track, just behind that car. We're walking past the old vicarage, but we're just giving you a quick shot to the left hand side as we go by. So we just follow the tarmac road forward. We're heading towards the railway line now. As we head downhill we pass a farm on our right hand side. About 100 feet past the farm, you turn right. We're heading towards Lacy's caves now. You've got the railway line in front of you. The sign also says Daleraven Bridge. We head forward. As we walk along we look to our left and slightly back, and you can see the railway line and the River Eden at the other side. We hope to be seeing more of that later on. As we walk along we look to our left again, we can see the River Eden and there's a little village there, we can see a church. And we're just heading forward along the concrete track. You can see on the left hand side of the picture there's the track we're following. But we thought we'd show you some of the countryside on the right. We're just in front of a herd of cows that's just finished milking. They're going back onto pasture now. Just down below us, set back about a field from the river, there's a flooded piece and there's some ducks, but we think we've seen a heron, so let's have a look. Yep, there he is. Well, it's not a bad start, isn't that? Found a heron already. We'll just watch him for a minute or two and see if he's fishing or after frogs are out. He just keeps edging forward there, look. Just don't look out for anything he can get. Just a slight bit of breeze on because we're stood well above the railway line here, so, and he's just wading out into the water now. We've a Land Rover coming, so that's it, we've got to pack in now. And here we've got the coal train just in front of us. As we walk along we get our first decent stretch of the Eden there, look, and we can see a heron down below again. There he is, far side of the tree, can you see him? After 10 or 15 minutes the main sort of road dies out a bit, then you've got sort of a tarmac track in front, just a narrow one. Just keep going, following the footpath sign. Railway's on your left. Just before we go on the narrow track, we take a quick look to our left over the railway line. As we're walking along the track, only 2 or 3 minutes, we've got a buzzard on a post within 30 feet and he's flown off as we get our camera out. But we look to our left and we've got like a sculpture there made by school kids. The buzzard's back, look, we can see him, look, far side at railway line, watch this. He's flown off, but that was a buzzard. That was a buzzard, definitely. And that's where he was, on top of that railway. Or sort of them wires there at side of railway. And there's the view, so that's the second buzzard we've seen within feet of us in the last sort of 5 minutes. And we're just heading forward down the track. You're walking with a taxi driver today. There's plenty of wildlife around. Them 2 rabbits are just at right hand corner of the house or the building. If we're lucky, we might get something good today. Go about 100 yards past the buildings. You'll see a gated road in front of you. The footpath sign says Daleraven Bridge. We turn left there. We're heading towards the River Eden now. Walk downhill 100 yards. You'll pass like a power substation on your left. In front of you you'll see a red ring. You turn left there, back on yourself, through like a bit of a muddy patch. After about 100 yards you'll turn right again and you've got the River Eden on your left hand side. We're walking along what we think is probably the platform from the old mine workings. As we head forward we can hear the roar of the river on our left hand side. As you walk along you'll notice one or two old sleepers left. We just keep heading forward. We look to our right hand side. We don't know what this is, but we take a picture anyway. It's part of the old mine workings, or to do with that anyway. But we've seen the railway sleepers, so we think these are part of the old sidings, what's left of them. Just to the left hand side of the sidings you can hear the roar of the water. There's a tiny track leads down to the river, and as you can see the river's in full spate at the moment, so we're being very careful, but what a shot. We'll make that do. It's a bit awkward perched where we are. We make our way 50 feet to the other side. It's very slippery here with it being wet, but we're trying to get some good shots, and we see like what looks like, you know, something with lime in it. Whether it's a lime kiln or not we don't know. It probably is. And that's about as good as we can get there. But then we look directly opposite. We're stood on like an outcrop, river's right below, and it's very slippy, so we've got to be very careful. We can see like a house at the other side, and then if we just keep panning round we can see like a rocky outcrop there, look, in the river. We'll make that do for now, go a bit further on. As we make our way back onto the top, straight in front of you, you can see what's left of the old workings here, look. And then just to the side of it, there's trees and everything growing up through it. We just keep heading forward past the workings. We're down right on the river now. Well, today's the 3rd of July. They've just had the devastating rains in the northwest, and as you can see there's a bridge there being washed out. We'll still get ourselves over, but it just shows the damage the rain can do. We've been talking to one of the farmers and he said they'd had you know, a good pasting over here, but look at that. The bridge is isolated on its own. Well, we'll keep heading forward. We're just crossing over the stream now in front of us, with bits of trees and rocks and wood and everything all washed down this small stream. 100 yards or so past the bridge you'll see Lacy's caves. We decide to go and have a look. There's a sign saying that it's a dangerous place and it's by permission of the landowner, but you've got to be careful here, especially when it's wet. So let's go and have a look. As soon as you make your way around the corner, look back, and that gives you a great view of the River Eden there. And here we are, we're just outside Lacy's caves now. We've got to be careful because the river's just below. These red sandstone caves were carved out by hand in the late 18th century by Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Lacy. He lived nearby in Salkeld Hall. Well, here we are inside them now. Samuel Lacy was famous for once trying to blow up the stones of Long Meg. He carved 5 chambers altogether. It's pretty dark in this one. Bit like a church, sort of an arch there, look. We're having to film using the archways and the doorways because we haven't got a lot of light, but it's great in here. We're just inside the entrance here, looking upriver. Well, I think we've shown you as much as we can because there's not a lot of light in here, but when you're looking out, it's fantastic. Colonel Lacy used to entertain at this place, and it was planted with rhododendrons and laburnums, and they still flower every spring. We're just outside the front. We walk out of the caves, turn left, back onto the track, slightly uphill. We keep going. We follow the path over the top of the caves, and as you can see, the River Eden is just down below. We just keep heading forward and you'll come out into the open fields, and we've got the River Eden on our left hand side. It's one of the few rivers that flows north, and we think it comes out at Carlisle. We keep heading forward. We're just getting a slight bit of height now. We're about 100 foot above the river, and just down below us on a sunken tree, we've got 2 oyster catchers there, look. The river's in full flow. We'll just take the zoom off and let you look at the setting. There they are, they're just on that log just down below us, or branch at tree. They haven't moved. And where we're at it, we'll lift up and just give you a little look at the countryside. This is the first bit of height we've had today. It's an easy walk, is this. We're right on the edge now, maybe about 80 to 100 foot above the river. Just in front of us, the land is slipping away, and they've planted trees there to try and slow it down. And then as we come over the brow of the hill, we can see our path clearly in front of us. We can see the stile there, look. We've come to the end of the field, over the stile, head towards the road and Daleraven Bridge. We turn right there. We're walking up the road for 500 yards and we're looking for a right turn. So we're just making our way uphill. Just keep heading forward up the road, round the double bend, and on your right hand side you'll see a track. There's no obvious footpath sign, but we're going to head forward towards the gate and then turn left and see if we can find it. So we headed forward 100 feet. We look to our left and the track goes straight in front of you. We just stood in front of the stump now. We're heading towards Long Meg farm and the stone circle now. As you head forward, you'll see the footpath sign in the hedge, but you can't see this from the road. This is just a narrow little path between the 2 nearly overgrown hedges. As you keep heading forward, it starts to open out a bit. As we walk along, we'll see like a small bush. I don't know what sort of bush it is, but we've got these like web cocoons, about 8-inch long by about 2.5-inch wide there, look. And as we turn the leaf over, we've got 2 little caterpillars, and they're about 1/2 inch long. We can't get any closer because the zoom will distort the film. We leave the webs and the caterpillars and we just keep heading forward. As you walk along, we can see a gap to our right hand side, and in the distance we can see the lake. So you can just about make the mountain range out in the distance, hopefully. Just a bit hazy obviously with all the rain we've had, but you know, it's a lovely countryside. We'll just pan round and give you a little look while we're here. We're still on the track, heading towards the farm. We've got the River Eden down below in the railway line. We walk to the end of the track. There's more or less a T-junction in front of us. On the sign it says Long Meg to the right, or Long Meg via St Michael's Church to your left. And we turn right there. Just on the inside of the track, through the trees. And once again we're going through what looks like an archway of trees as we make our way forward towards Long Meg. We walk along the track, we're looking through the trees, we can see some ears there, and we're pretty sure that they're hares, but they've got black tips, so they could be baby fox cubs. We just do not know. So we're going to watch for a few minutes. There, look, all the hares. Can you see them? Black tips. It's right at end of my range. We'll give it a minute or two, see if we can get a better shot. In the front there, look, you can see his head lifting up. But front back, you could take them for a couple of fox cubs. Certainly the one on the right you could anyway. I've just clapped my hands, there they are. Definitely a couple of hares. They're a fair way away, but they listened to the ear, that one. They're off. We just keep heading forward now. We're not so far off Meg's farm. As you can see, there's plenty of foxgloves about. We'll come to a gate. We go straight through and just keep heading forward. And as we go along, we look to our right and we've got some foxgloves backed onto a tree there. But as I'm leaning to take these, I'm touching electric fence to keep the cows in. I can feel it. So let's leave this alone. We're just coming up towards the farm now, and we passed by on the left hand side. We're heading towards Long Meg now. On the fence in front of us, just before we go through, two little swifts, look at them. Well, we're about 8 feet away. There's two baby swifts here, or swallows. I think we're swifts. 8 foot away on the gate right in front. This is fantastic. Let's have a look at the left hand side now. They're waiting for mother to come and feed them, I think. There's 3 now. We're stood on, they're gone. We're stood at the side of the farm there. And that was a treat with that. We look to our right and there's still another one left, look. This is maybe the Reckling. Let's have a look. Well, this is fantastic. All we've done, the wildlife here is absolutely unbelievable. We're about 8-10 feet away from him. We've got another little swift landed in the water in front of us, or near the water. And this is on the farm gate. And all these are live shots. I don't know how many weeks old he is, 4 or 5, I don't know. And he's not bothered. The other 3 or 4 have flown away. Well, we can't get much closer than that. The others are just flying around on our left-hand side now. Well, we think we'll leave them because obviously the mother wants to feed them, so we'll make that do. Just head forward through the gate, so we've got to open the gate now, so we just go steady, because he's still sat on there. Well, just in front of us across the road, we've another one of them electric fences. There's a little blue bit, so I've had one little nip off it, so I'm going to move that in a minute to let us through. But we think we can see Long Meg in the distance there, and her daughters. Well, we're at Long Meg now. Being a new walk, we don't really know where to start, so we thought if we give you a pan round and then go up to the top and take a couple of shots. And obviously you've got cows grazing in the field. So we're going to go to the right hand side and get a bit of height, see what we can see. The stone in front of me is about 6 foot tall by about 3 foot wide. And if you look at the cows there, they'll give you a bit of scale. We're going to go up to the top if we can and see if we can find a plaque or something like that. Tells us a bit more. Well, there we are. Look, we've just got 2 cows in the middle of the couple of stones, but we're still looking for Long Meg. We think we've spotted her. We've spotted Long Meg, so let's have a look. We think that's it there, look. This is considered to be one of the finest stone circles in the north of England. The circle has a diameter of 350 feet, the third biggest in the country. Long Meg is the tallest of the 69 stones at more than 12 feet. It has 3 mysterious symbols on it, and its 4 corners face the points of the compass. The stones date from about 1500 BC. Well, we'll just have a quick look round at 1 or 2 more stones before we go. We haven't shown all the stones, but we've showed as many as we can, I think. And there, as you can see, it covers a pretty wide circle, does this. And as you can see the stones in front of us, let's look a bit further at the hills at the back. So after we've filmed Long Meg, we still keep following the track forward towards Little Salkeld. Just keep heading on down the road 200 or 300 yards. You'll come to a left-hand bend. You just head straight forward. So forward down the track a few hundred yards, and as soon as you get to the road, turn right, and that should take you back to the village. We've just made it to the road. We're looking through the hedge and we can see what we think's a snipe there. Look, we're nearly back. As you can hear, we've got the cars just behind us. But there he is, he's just preening himself, look. He's about 150 feet away, he doesn't seem bothered. We've been listening to these for the last sort of 20 minutes, so we know there's a nest nearby. Oh, that's a great shot, just preening his head with his beak. We'll just take the zoom off and let you have a look. You can hear his mate. Well, he's gone. If you're in Cumbria, the Lake District, and it's really bad weather on the hills, this maybe isn't a bad one to walk. You'll enjoy this walk, even though it's a little one. You've got the caves down the side of the River Eden, and you've Long Meg, plus a host of wildlife. We hope you've enjoyed our walk in Cumbria. You've been walking the taxi driver today.